Sometimes we want to forget a film the second we walk out of the movie theater. But sometimes we desire to get its copy and rewatch it again and again and again. Maybe the acting is captivating. Perhaps the cinematography is beautiful. Maybe it was based on interesting facts. Or maybe the filmmakers have tiny hidden details within the scenes. You find something new every time you press play. To show you how scrupulously some famous movies were made, we made part 2 of 16 sneaky hidden details in your favorite 90s movies that you probably haven't spotted till now. 16 sneaky details hidden in your favorite 90s movies that you probably haven't spotted until now, part 2. Number 16. Wes, that you, Mr. Craven? Scream gave a major shot in the arm to the horror genre when it was released back in 1996. This tongue-in-cheek slasher flick raked in more than $170 million globally, and critics generally liked it too. The movie was also very aware of its place in horror film history, referencing numerous cliches and plots from the likes of Friday the 13th and Halloween. And if you weren't hiding behind the sofa or obscuring your vision with clasped hands, you may have noticed that director Wes Craven makes a brief appearance, dressed in Freddy Krueger's clothes. Number 15. See you later, alligator. Happy Gilmore is a rarity of sorts, in the sense that it's an Adam Sandler vehicle that doesn't totally suck. Anyway, the 1996 ice hockey player turned golfer comedy has a neat bit of symbolism in it that you might well have missed. If you look carefully, you'll notice that the character Chubbs wears a Lacoste shirt, replete with the French fashion company's famous alligator logo. What does this mean? Well, an alligator attack cost Chubbs one of his hands, and he eventually dies of a cardiac arrest after seeing an alligator's head. Number 14. Sewage pipe symbolism. The Shawshank Redemption should need little or no introduction. The prison drama is one of the most beloved movies of all time after all. But there's a neat piece of detail that you might have missed in the movie. At one point, Morgan Freeman's Red calls Andy Dufresne's hope of freedom and moving to Zanata a pipe dream. Of course, the Tim Robbins portrayed Dufresne would eventually escape the jail though, through a sewage pipe. Number 13. Tooth trivia. Richie Rich told the story of the world's wealthiest man's son, the titular character played by Macaulay Culkin. The 1994 movie wasn't exactly a great success, but still made $37 million domestically. And the film has a curious hidden detail in it. Early on, Richie produces a drawing of a classmate who's missing a tooth. Then, in the finale, the face on the family mountain has a yawning gap in its teeth. Number 12. Crossover crab. Disney's Aladdin came out back in 1992, and the tale of an Arabian man who stumbles upon a magic lamp was a big success. The animated classic also has some hidden details that you might have missed. At one point in the movie, the Robin Williams voiced genie's magic produces Sebastian the Crab from The Little Mermaid when looking at his cookbook. Cool! Number 11. Cunningly placed Parisians. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is another Disney film that contains clever nods to the studio's past. Yes, the 1996 animated drama, which is based on the famous novel by Victor Hugo, threw in a number of blink and you'll miss them allusions to bygone films. During a Paris set street scene, if you look closely, you'll spot a pig on a stake, clearly resembling Pumbaa from The Lion King, the Beauty and the Beast Belle wandering around, and someone carrying the magic carpet seen in Aladdin. Number 10. Triplet Travails. What more can you say about The Matrix? The 1999 sci-fi movie has been discussed to death after all. Well, there's something about the red dress scene that may surprise you. That section features numerous triplets and twins. And to clearly illustrate the story's point that programmers were able to replicate figures, the film's directors employed dozens of triplets and twins. Number 9. Spec's Shadowy Secret. Batman Returns came out in the summer of 1992 to critical acclaim. The Tim Burton-directed movie followed Michael Keaton's Caped Crusader in his attempts to stop the deranged plans of Danny DeVito's Penguin. You may or may not have noticed this neat little detail. In a scene involving Selena Kyle, you can see that the shadow above her glasses foretells her forthcoming incarnation of Catwoman. Number 8. Enduring Burger Chain. Pulp Fiction was easily one of the best American movies of the 1990s. Quentin Tarantino's masterpiece wowed both critics and audiences with its witty dialogue, clever plot, and fine acting from the likes of Uma Thurman, John Travolta, and Samuel L. Jackson. But you may not have noticed that the Big Kahuna Burger franchise that's famously referenced in Pulp Fiction appeared in the 1996 movie From Dusk Till Dawn 2, which was also written by Tarantino. Number 7. T for Tarzan. Tarzan was the final film in the so-called Disney Renaissance period, and it hit cinemas in 1999. The animated movie did well with critics and earned a not-too-shabby $448 million at the box office. Like many Disney movies, there are some sneaky cross-references thrown in. In Tarzan, this comes in the shape of Jane's tea set, which is Chip and Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. Number 6. License plate recognition. Swingers was something of an unexpected hit in 1996. Featuring Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn, the low-budget comedy centered on two out-of-work Los Angeles actors and made stars of its leads. The film also sneaked in a hidden pop culture reference in the form of a license plate. Yes, Trent's car has the code THX1138 on it, which is a nod to a duplicate one in 1973's American Graffiti, and ultimately Star Wars Supremo George Lucas's debut feature of the same name. Number 5. Like Mother, Like Daughter. Halloween H2O continues the story of its famous 1978 predecessor, Halloween, exactly 20 years on. The terrifying Mike Myers comes back, as does Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode. And the horror movie makes a respectful nod to the Alfred Hitchcock thriller, Psycho, that arrives in the shape of its star, Janet Leigh, Curtis's real-life mom, who uses the same vehicle she did in the 1960 classic. Number 4. Carpet Conundrum. Toy Story has appeared on this list several times already, and with good reason. Here's another hidden detail you might have missed in the '95 Pixar classic. In fact, unless you have a photographic memory of carpets in movies, you almost certainly will have. In Evil Sid's house, the carpeting matches that of abandoned Overlook Hotel in The Shining. Apparently, Pixar director Leon Crick is a big fan of the Stanley Kubrick horror classic. Number 3. Slot machine silliness. The Nightmare Before Christmas isn't exactly a classic holiday movie, but the creepy 1993 classic, which was dreamt up and produced by Tim Burton, is still a hoot. The neat detail you might have missed involves the slot machines. Look closely and you can see they're one-armed bandits, but instead of having the usual number 7 on them, they have the more appropriately spooky 13. Number 2. Hat Off to Clint. The third and final installment of the hugely popular franchise Back to the Future Part 3 wasn't adverse to chucking in the odd hidden detail or two. For instance, there are several references to Hollywood icon Clint Eastwood in it. In 1955, the Michael J. Fox portrayed Marty states, Clint Eastwood would have never worn anything like this. And if you look to the side of him, you'll notice there's a poster on the wall for Revenge of the Creature, the big screen debut of the veteran actor. Number 1. Predictive Pin. Is there a better Christmas movie than Home Alone? Well, if there is, we certainly haven't seen it. Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, and Daniel Stern all put in masterful comedic performances. Speaking of Pesci, if you look carefully at his police chief character Harry at the start, you'll notice he's wearing a gun pendant on his tie. This seems to be a subtle nod foreshadowing of what's about to happen.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay informed about our upcoming videos because more incredible content is on the way.